illusion. I was at a conference that was probably like 45 minutes away from my retail store. And at this point, my retail store was probably, I'm guessing, a couple of years old. I was in the middle of the recession. No one was coming into the store at all. It was very scary. I could have made maybe $100 in an entire month. So anyway, I went to this conference. The topic was manifesting. It may have been more focused on law of attraction back then. It doesn't matter. But the person who was speaking was explaining to the person in the hot seat, so to speak, how they were basically just experiencing what their beliefs were. And anyway, without going, I don't want this part to be too long. I went outside in the parking lot during a break. And I basically, so I'm like 45 minutes away from my retail business. Nobody had been coming into my retail business at all. I had a friend watching it for me. I decided in that moment that I was going to close my eyes, and I'm physically in the parking lot, but I am aware that although I'm physically in the parking lot, that this is all kind of illusion, although it's real, reality is real, but this solid experience is the illusion, that we're all energy, which is really just trillions and trillions of atoms. You know, all of us, we're just all trillions and trillions of atoms, and atoms are always in multiple positions all at once, which means that I'm not only here, I'm also there and there and there and there and there. And that this whole illusion of separation in this physical reality is just what our constant awareness is on. So anyway, I focused on being physically back at my store. And I just imagined, as I was standing there in the parking lot, that I was in the store, and I felt myself in the store, and I kept my eyes closed, and I imagined everything on the shelves in the store. And I imagined, then I took myself even further back. I imagined myself when I was actually picking out all of the products from my vendors' catalogs and websites, and how I would always get this incredibly strong feeling of, oh my God, everybody's going to love these. These are going to sell like crazy. These are going to sell out, blah, 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 blah. So I imagined myself in front of the shelves, looking at all of the products. And I imagined all of the love that I had and the appreciation that I had for all of these products. And I just imagined, you know, people really loving them, and went back in, finished the conference, got in my car, driving back now to the store. I check in with my friend, and she's just like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, what? And she said, about, you know, whatever it was, like a half hour ago. So this would have been the time exactly when I was in the parking lot. And she said, out of nowhere, I've never seen anything like this. People just came in and were buying things off the shelf. And I was just like, that was like one of my first really clear lessons in parallel realities, how you can just shift yourself into a new reality instantly. And it's not that, here's the thing, having that knowledge shouldn't create more resistance of you saying, well, but I'm always focusing on this, but nothing's changing, because it's that. I wasn't like, when I did it, I just knew that it was working. I knew that by doing this was working. And that's kind of where I left it. If I had called her and she'd said nothing changed, I wouldn't have been upset about it. I wouldn't have freaked out about it. It wouldn't have mattered. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And then one other thing I wanted to, because I see a lot of people are coming on, so I'll just get to some questions. One other experience I wanted to talk about was now years later, now when I'm in this would have been the best version of my retail store. This would have been the last version of the retail store that I had that was very successful. The pandemic definitely, you know, I fell for a lot of that stuff with the pandemic, but it was all also just a bridge events to this here and now, which is awesome and amazing. So I remember being in the middle of the store and having a moment of frustration because I had to make a really large amount of money in a very short amount of time. And I probably, you know, who knows what my train of thought was exactly, but I decided just to be in the moment, take a few deep breaths in. I looked out at the water. I was literally in front of my retail business had this beautiful water view in the back. So I looked out at the water and I closed my eyes and I took a few deep breaths in. And my employee at the time, I was very open with him about manifestation. I tried to teach him too. And I basically just focused on shifting my reality and understanding that this is just one choice right now. And I am going to select the version of reality that I want right now. And I literally just, I felt the shift, and I felt and heard myself with customers that just like very quick, like the moments when I would like say ring up somebody for a $5,000 or $10,000 sale. I literally just put myself in the feeling place as if it was happening literally in this moment. And I felt myself just say something, like hear them say something like, "Oh my God, you're so awesome. I love this. I can't wait to get my furniture." And that me just saying, yeah, you know, something like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. This is great." And giving them a hug or whatever the case was. And I just had the very quick, like 1-2 seconds, imagining a whole bunch of people in the store. And like suddenly the energy was like up and music was on and people were having fun. And then I imagined myself very fast, like this were very quick visualizations. I imagined myself at the end of the day batching out. And I imagined this feeling of relief come over me of having like a $10,000 day or whatever it was. And then I quickly imagined myself walking outside, feeling the air on my face, feeling all the sensations, smelling the fresh air, smelling the water, walking to my car, getting in my car. Like I went through all of these sensations, and I imagined myself walking in my house. And then I imagined myself at the moment in the evening, just being on the sofa and watching TV and feeling this feeling of, oh yeah, it feels so good. It feels so good to feel so secure. That's what I did. And that all of that probably took all of 2 to 5 minutes. And within an hour or two, the store was packed full of people. Music was on. Everybody was having fun. Everything just shifted and changed. And take it easy on yourself if things don't shift and change immediately. That's the whole point. If you trust, if you can just learn how to trust that this is all real and that you are already manifesting, your entire reality is you. Your reality is you. Your physical reality is just what your beliefs are personified in front of you. That's it. People are going to mirror back to you what you believe about them, what you believe about that kind of relationship, what you believe about love, all that stuff. And, you know, your experiences when it comes to money or anything is going to come down to whether you feel that is money hard. Am I worthy of having money? Is money evil? You know, am I able to feel secure and safe and abundant? And the answer is money is not evil. People may be evil, and maybe people do evil things when they have money, but that all comes down to intention, and that's not you, right? So money is good. Money is safe. It's healthy for you to have safety and security. It's healthy for you to have money. It's good for you. It's good for the people around you. It's good for any causes that you believe in. You know, you want to see that you don't want to try to, like, everything for me should be very authentic. Like, I'm not going to try to be good to put out a signal to God that, oh, if I try to be good and if I act good, then you're going to reward me. No, I am pure. I am goodness. I am pure love. And I know anything and everything that I want in my life and in my experience, I only want because God wants that for me. And I trust in that. And I'm going to be that beautiful, divine, clear, pure channel so God can work through me. Okay.